We have the wonderful Autumn, and Autumn is here to follow up on her last video, which we all talked about the beginning of massage therapy, how to get into a good medi-spa, coming straight out of school. She did wonderful, so wonderful in fact that they just said, you know what, we want Autumn in our medi-spa because it is so hard to get into a medi-spa. It takes up to, what, 5 years of experience or more?
Yeah.
And she did it in under 1 month after school or something like that. Right after she got her license. So she's back with us to share her experiences for the last couple of years. So Autumn, what's been going on?
Well, I've actually been on sabbatical for the last year, focusing more on the energetic healing part of body work.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm getting ready to go back into working again. So I'm excited for that, to incorporate both the energetic along with the physical.
I'm tripping. Autumn, can you tell all of us about your experiences in new spas that you've worked in, or are you still working for the Medi Spa that we talked about earlier in the videos?
I'm no longer working at the Medi Spa. I'm no longer working at any spa. I am my own businesswoman. I have my own clients. It's exciting. Like I said, I've been on sabbatical, but I've built up a really good relationship. And I'm excited to get back out there and like incorporate the new, roll it in with the old, and I'm excited for that. I was working, before I went on sabbatical, I was working as a private contractor, and that was an incredible experience. I got to work when I want. I woke up when I want. I got to pick and choose my clients. It was incredible. There was no, since I went to people's homes, I didn't have to worry about any of the spa environment. I didn't have to worry about any co-workers. It was straight to the point with the client, and it was beautiful. I got to create the experience in a place that they were already comfortable in. So it was one of the pros of working as a private contractor was that I really got to go and experience people in their own space, and I really connected with individuals that really wanted my services, and it was a joy. And I wasn't like the con of working in a spa-like environment is you're given clients, and even sometimes when you ask not to be placed with a certain client, you are, regardless of asking repeatedly not to sometimes, so it was nice to be my own boss, and I think that's really what helped me transition into my own practice with people that I just felt was a beautiful synergy. Nothing is forced, nothing is pushed on me. I'm in that perfect state of centeredness to really be able to apply my best self to the practice. So I'm really proud that I've accomplished a lot in such a short amount of time, because I see people get stuck in franchises. I see them get stuck, and saying all those angry yeses. And I really started saying loving no's. Like, no, I'm not going to do this. That's not how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be able to give a 5-star performance unless it's done my way. And if I'm doing 100% of the work, then why am I not getting 100% of the money, So I really had to start looking at my energy. My time is all that I have. And it's so valuable to me. And I think all therapists out there should know that their number one priority is their own health, their own peace of mind at the end of the day. And working for myself now, it's like I set my hours. I see who I want to see when I want to see. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I did have to get in there and I did have to walk. I did have to work. I did have to cry and sweat and scrape, and starve for a while. But it's led me, I think, even to having a stronger presence in each and every one of my services. Because it's like, I work for this. I've earned this. And it's like, I'm confident, when I say my hourly rate. I'm confident when I say, I'm not doing this off of your budget. I'm doing this off of my skill set. And I've gone through the training. I've consistently applied myself to bettering myself. So it's all paying off now, and I'm just sitting back and welcoming in the abundance.
And Autumn, I appreciate you sharing your experiences with all of us, and I know it's been some trials and tribulations down the road. Can you speak to all of us about the hardships of massage therapy? Like, what do you have to look out for? What you've been through? What others have been through? Bad management, front desk staff, you name it.
Yeah, you probably listed off all of them. Bad management, for one, trickles down. It's the ripple effect. Yeah, I quit my first franchise because of the management. It was improper and poor training. Yeah. What else? Bad.
Oh yes,
I guess I need to be more specific because it's like my brain just.
when I say like bad management, yeah, most franchises or spas these days, yeah, they all have pretty much terrible, horrible management that don't really care about anybody. What happened to you? Can you explain like what was going on, or if it's a touchy subject that we don't need to talk about or
No,
know
that's
about?
fine. I quit because I wasn't in an environment that was feeding my best work experience, my best, like I said, I went in and things weren't being taken care of, things were overlooked, and it's simple things, and it's the attention to detail that is so imperative from the minute the client walks in to the minute they leave. And I was just seeing little things where I was like, hey, this needs to be addressed, this needs to be addressed, and it falls on deaf ears. And over time, when all of a sudden it's like, why am I in this environment? If like, I'd walk in sometimes and I'd be like, the sheets are stained. If I was getting a service and I pull back my sheet and I'm not gonna lay on a dirty looking sheet. And it was like just other things where it was, I think for me, if I'm not comfortable with a client and I state, I'm not comfortable with this client, then when I signed up for this job and I agreed to take it on, the little thing in there that I signed for as well was stating that if I'm not comfortable with someone, you're going to respect that and give this to someone else, to another therapist. And I think that's why I know that is why I quit my second franchise. Because I repeatedly came to them and said, I don't schedule this person with me. It's not a good energy exchange. I'm uncomfortable the entire service. Don't do this to me. If I have to walk in and see this person on my shift, on my schedule, it really does, like the whole day all of a sudden it's like, oh, I gotta gear up for this, what I call like an energetic vampire. It's like I'm not gonna be in a room where someone is just almost purposefully not enjoying their time. I don't know how to say it. It's like we just don't mesh. Don't put me, if it's water and oil, respect me and my time. Because as your employee, I still need to be respected. I need to come into a space, an environment where I can be 100% relaxed, with a peace of mind, knowing that I can give 100% exceptional 5-star service.
Amen.
Yeah.
During the time that you worked at this franchise or this, let's just say their acronym is Mary Edward. For those military inclined people who probably figure that out. At this franchise, did your lead therapist do anything to help you guys like during like training, or they just had a title of lead therapist like most franchises do to
Yeah,
try to see somebody's in power, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah. Favoritism. And no, the training was horrible at my first franchise. It was horrible. I got hired December 15th. I wasn't put on the books until, I think, January 20... No, it was February 7th, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, because it was finding time with the trainer.
Mm-hmm. And that's the problem with these franchises. They give you training when they want to train you. And so for franchise owners, did they treat you guys with respect, or any type of, hey, it's Christmas, here's an extra bonus instead of coal in the stocking or whatever?
No.
You know, or were they just
No.
Grinches
No.
all year round?
No, yeah, the Grinches.
Gremlins,
Grinches.
Gargoyle,
When it comes to that, I went in knowing that it was a stepping stone. So I kind of let a lot just water off a duck's back, so to speak. Franchises should be a stepping stone because it's really about money, numbers. You know, it's 15 minutes when they're paying for an hour. Why are they paying for an hour and getting 15 minutes?
And so speaking of that, you know, I'm picking up on your sarcasm. How much do you think somebody straight out of school, or even with a little bit of experience, should get paid from all of these franchises that we're talking about, or any franchise?
Minimum 25. Minimum 30.
Good answer.
The amount of school, the amount of time, you know, and the amount of physical and emotional and energetic energy that you're giving to this. You learn the body, you know the body, you're doing something just as important as a chiropractor, just as important as a physical therapist. You are tuning into someone's body, and when done correctly, healing will take place. And that's powerful. And when you have a therapist that understands that the greatest power comes with the lightest touch, you have magic, and that's where literally you can transform someone's whole existence by giving them their body back. And that needs to be respected. And there's people out there that they have this gift of touch that can literally put someone on the table and literally take years off their life. Stress just gone, right? And you're saying that you're only going to give them $10, $12? And I'm not knocking anyone who works at McDonald's, because McDonald's is also a stepping stone, but I'm just using this as a reference point. How is someone that is serving up food the same as someone that is literally you're trusting your body with? Like, you have to sign a waiver whenever you get a massage saying, you know what, like, I understand like what's about to happen with this therapist.
Yep.
Like, I am giving them permission to touch these parts that can be hurt. Like, you don't understand, like, people, like, they have lots of messed up massages and they come out and be like, ow, 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 right? Because that's someone that's just probably in it for the money as well. That's in it for, you know, a stepping stone. Using that career as a stepping stone. But a true gifted therapist, oh, can't put money on that. They're priceless. Priceless.
So speaking of, well, I'll switch gears off of, well, actually, you know, we'll stay back on franchises. We'll make this the last question for that part.
Joey.
The clientele that you're normally working on, do they actually come on to you because you're obviously very attractive, like most massage therapists are? And I have seen through many franchises that therapists like you, always male or female, tend to have their clients always coming back, requesting you over and over and over, or asking for extra type of massages. Can you explain to all of us your experiences with all of that?
Oh, fun. I've had some crazy experiences, okay? I have a very powerful presence. And I know that there will be no transference. I set my boundaries before I even walk in the room. Like I have my energetic shields up. Like I set the space for healing to take place. So, but there are those really certain clients that are just so disconnected, and they come in and they're just such in a disrespectful state of being that they have no respect. The fact that I've done over 3,000 of hours of training, that's just for massage. It's like I've done thousands of hours not to do any sort of sexual act. It's almost like a slap in the face. And I've cut services like that. Like, sir, the service is over, or ma'am. Like, I've had equal amount, like women and men have come on to me. And the first thing I do is say, I'm going to step out the room. I'm going to let you get dressed. The service is over. Just like that. In a very calm way. I'm not starting anything. But I also know, and I'm very firm in my energy, that I can de-escalate a lot as well. Sometimes people need that firm no. Because I don't want to demonize them. Because they are people that probably have not been touched, or they're people that just need the touch. And I understand that when you're in that state and you're touching, and we are physical beings that we crave to be caressed, and I can understand we're in that moment and they're feeling relaxed. All of a sudden they can go into that mind state where it turns sexual for them. Even though the therapist can be in a very clear state, like I'm doing this, it's body work, I know my intentions, I'm working the muscles, I'm looking at the fascia, I'm watching the joints. That person still could be laying there like, oh my God, they're touching me right next to my glute. Oh. I wonder if I just try to show them my privates, maybe they'll, and they're in that moment, and you can't blame them either. But the thing is to, again, be very calm and let them know, like, this is it, this is over. And I can explain afterwards. When you're fully clothed again, when I'm feeling safe. Because this whole service is not just about you. It's about me as well. How am I feeling? How am I holding up? How is my breathing? Do I feel safe here? Are they taking it? Are they laying there? Are they receiving in a respectful way? Because that's, I think a lot of massage therapists do put themselves, in positions where a client has crossed the line and they continue on in a state of, I should end it the whole time, right?
Right.
So that's one of the subjects that's most taboo, but at the same time is one of the most needed to be addressed, is when these things happen, because they do. Erections are common, and it's not even sexual. It comes from just the blood flow, the increase of blood to that zone, and all of a sudden, yes, there will be an engorgement. Is that a word?
It is now.
Okay. All those naughty novels
It's
are going
our
out.
word.
No, I don't know.
Oh, it's a therapist word.
I don't know.
You just said the therapist word.
Just like melanated.
Yes, there you
That's
go.
not a word either.
You
Okay,
got it.
people.
But we all know.
All of us indigenous people.
We are.
Excuse
Yeah.
me. Okay.
But no, you're
Back to the.
Yes, and you're exactly right about the blood flow and
Yeah.
things happen down there. We all know. And I told one of my students one time, I was like, well, think about it. If women had something that gave a warning for their their arousal, and like say your face turned blue or your nails or something, then we would know. Would we still go complain? But I'm like, no, that's just, she's aroused. She's turning that color for a reason, or I know she's coming off. Like a lot of women can actually have a climax from touch.
Yeah.
And some men that'll freak out, or some female client or therapist will freak out as well. And so I'm glad, and it's much needed support in that area, because like you said, yeah, we don't talk about it as much. It's always taboo. It's against the rules. It's in the books of the Susan Salvo book, but never really fully explained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some therapists are going to run across this. No therapist is immune to any of these advances, sexual wantings of another therapist or person. That's going to happen regardless. It's just human nature. But if they cross the line, Autumn, like what happens if you're on your own practice and you're out at this guy's house or at this young lady's house, and they want a happy meal or a happy ending? What do you do to protect yourself in that instance? Do you just still walk out?
I've actually had that happen with a private client of mine. And again, it's all about your communication and your intention. You know, it's the stabilizing the situation in a way where it's like, okay, I understand, but this is not allowed. I can continue on with this service, you know. Otherwise, if this continues, I'm uncomfortable and I will leave.
There you go.
You know, and it's in a very gentle way. Again, it's not about making them feel embarrassed or ashamed. It's about like, hey, I get it. You know, but that's not what I do, right? You know, I mean, there's people out there. That's just not me. You know, and I know that it happens all the time. And that's for them and whoever situation is out there, right? So if that's what they want, they will, like, you know, attract that. But to me, it's, you can stand firm and people will respect that. And it's almost like, oh, sorry. You know, and it's like, it's okay, I got it, you know. But I think, again, it's all about intention as well. I know a lot of times I've had people where I've got that vibe. And it's like, I'm going to be very, very, very clear on my communication. When it comes to this zone, right? Are we going to be covered, uncovered? You know, like, I'm always going to have you draped here. Go to your level of comfort, but just know you will always be covered here for my safety. Okay, because you can want to lay there naked, you can do whatever you want, right? But for my comfort, I'm going to have you covered, okay? For my peace of mind, you know, I understand that this is a massage and you want full body. That's beautiful. I'm not your therapist then. And people, at the end of the day, I'm always looking for respect. I give respect. I demand respect. It's because I've earned it. I walk in that truth. So I know that as long as I say, hey, clear cut, no, we're good. So I don't have any problems.
1,000%.
Hope not.
Billion %.
Yes.
Top marks, as they say in England. Cheerio.
Oh.
Okay, so. Oh no, I can't ask that. I already asked that. So in these incidents that normally happen, if a guy or a creeper is what some people call them, and they get a little aroused and they want you to go lower, or I don't know what they want you to do, but some sort of act that gets them off. But is it always guys that do that? In your training and experience?
I'd actually say that women have been more forthcoming in their dances. Men have been more vulgar and frank about it. There's a difference, you know. But again, men are taken by force and women are more gentle and, you know, rub your leg. You know, men are like grab or expose and it's like, whoa, you know. I have to like really force the brakes to de-escalate this, right? Whereas with a woman is more suggestive, it's like, no, I'm just going to tuck you in a little tighter. You want to expose yourself? I'm going to just shove that sheet under there. You know, because you can make it very clear to people. And sometimes it's always okay to let people know your boundaries. It's my bubble.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, because in this business, it is a business to where you're making somebody feel so damn good that their mind is like in another world that they've never been in, or maybe they haven't been in it in a long time because
Yeah.
they've been married for 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, I got that old thing back. Like, I've been looking for this forever.
Oh.
And now that you're giving it to them, is it their fault that they feel aroused, or is it just human nature? Or because there's a lot of therapists who wouldn't think like you're thinking or I'm thinking. They would really take this as an offense. Like, hey, I need to call the police. Oh, I need to, I don't know, wear body armor to the massage room or something crazy where they lose their damn minds. And so that's the only reason why I keep bringing up certain happy endings and arousal moments in these videos, because it's going to happen. And there's some students of mine who keep debating me for some stupid reason, like I don't have 16 years in massage therapy, and they'll still tell me this is never going to happen to them. I wouldn't put myself in this position. Like, no.
It happened with me within week 1. Within like the first week of like officially having my books open, working in the actual massage world, it happened fast. And the first time it was like, whoa, and it's, again, the one thing that we need to honestly understand is when you get into that, like you really are in like this dreamy state, you're in that parasympathetic state where everything is slowed down, you're relaxed, you really are like, and you have someone that's literally taken you to that state. And in itself, ultimately, that's what we want.
That's right.
And it feels good and it feels right because our bodies are meant to be celebrated. We're meant to be touched. And I think the way that pornography and the media and movies now is disconnected us from the art of truly connecting with the body and listening to the body and feeling the body and really, massage therapists, most of them have that gift. And when people feel that, all of a sudden they can think of it and again misinterpret that as something deeper, as something more, oh, this person gets me. And that's why a lot of times, clients can fall absolutely head over heels in love or in their make-believe lust with their therapist because they're getting that attention where they're literally laying there and taking it. And again, as humans, who doesn't want to be just worshipped without having to do anything? I know as a woman, that's, it's like, hey, it's my temple, worship here. And I could see that when you're on the table and you haven't been touched in a very long time, you're going to go into that state where, yes, I want more, yes, keep doing it, yes, but that's up to the therapist now to bring it back to that safe place.
That's right.
Where I know what's going on right now, but this is our safe zone, and we are going to stay in our lane. Okay?
That's right, because most of those clients there, like you said, are going through a divorce, which is very terrible. It was wicked. It was something that you can't even fathom, but they're going through a very hard time. And you have to have compassion for your clients, like Autumn just said, and tell them no with intention, a nice no, but it will still be no. And a lot of therapists, I guess they haven't learned that lesson, and so they either walk out of the room, storm out, get the person in trouble, the client in trouble, or the reverse, the client gets the therapist in trouble. You should have just ended it and walked out of the room. As easy as that sounds, sometimes it's actually is that easy if you have the right mindset. You can actually walk away, and that took me a while to understand. I know because I'm a guy, I'm not blaming all guys, but we don't understand, we don't have a deeper understanding that you just explained. Like, no, tuck the person in a little bit harder. That's kind of a no.
Let them know.
A physical no. Yeah, you got to give them a physical no by tucking them in. And then you verbally said it, so you said it twice, and you documented on your silk notes. And yeah, it's just amazing how you explained it.
It really does come down to just intention, clear communication. And that's why I think the intake is very important. And when it comes to, because people want, if people want, I've had ladies that want their breasts massaged, and that again is where you have it in writing, and it's, okay, I am working the muscles, and like again, our heart chakra is right there. So this is an energetic space that can become very clogged and very like thick and heavy almost. And when you have a good worker, a body worker, energy worker in there, they can really clear that away and touch the body in a respectful way without it being sexual. So now if you have clear communication and when you're writing in your intake and the therapist is like, okay, do you want to be draped or undraped? So now you know, so they're not feeling like unsure. You're not feeling unsure. You both know. That's why whenever I do my intake now, it's, do you know, even down to the glutes, which are very commonly asked to be worked on. I ask, do you want to be worked on top of the sheets? Do you want to be worked through underneath the sheets where you're draped, right? What is your level of comfort? And then I will let you know my level of comfort and where we meet, right? That way, before I even lay hands on, it's a very clear understanding of what parts they want touched and how they will be massaged. That way, it's almost like they know that when I get to that area, what is to be expected, and they can relax more. You know, because I know like some people are very, it's like I can sense them tense the whole time. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want you, don't move my leg, don't move my, oh no. And it's like, lady or gentleman, they're just, you're gonna be covered the whole time, just let me get your arm. You know, it's like they're so just stuck, like, oh my God. And it's like, okay, if I would have said you're draped the whole time, you will never once be exposed. You won't even feel a draft. You're gonna be great. You know, they need that. They need extra, like, and then when they see it in paper, it's even better because now they're like signing and checking away. Okay, I know and she knows that when it comes to my leg, she will only take up to, you know, this part. And we're very clear on it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's all about communication. It's all about, and that's what I'm saying. Like in franchises, they're so rushed, right? A lot of times it's people get in there and they don't remember. I've gone in rooms so many times where they're literally on top of the sheets, naked. I'm just like, whoa, I told you to get under. They're like, oh, what? Did you say face up? And it's like, okay, I already went over this twice, but I can see you're so in your head. You're not hearing anything that I'm saying. So that sometimes you need to take those extra steps, take it slower. That way, at the end of the service, the client is going to have enjoyed it more because they've been like coddled like a baby the entire way. You know? I know exactly what I'm going to get. I know exactly how it's going to be done. I can relax.
Wow.
You know?
And I concur with every word that you just said because, yes, even trying to explain it to the most, I don't know, I guess, aficionado of massage therapy, they just keep going over and over or keep going to spas. Even for them, you still have to kind of go over and reiterate how they should be undressed, get on the sheet, under the sheet, you know, keep your clothes on, whatever you feel that's more comfortable to you. They still don't understand that. So how do you break it down to them when you tell them, hey, you can dress down to your most comfortable level? Like, what is that, or how do you go through your...
Yeah, this is how I do it. Okay, so you can keep everything on if you want. You can take everything off if you want, right? And then you can be under the sheet and, you know, and then I break it down from there. Again, I go back to the areas. When we work on the chest, do you even want me to work on the chest? Do you even want me near your stomach? Some people don't even want like their upper arms. You know, so I literally step by step through the body, right? And okay, you want it here, now how do you want it done? Right? And then it's very important to check in as well. You know, like, okay, if you pull back, now you say like, are you comfortable? You know, like just always check in. And at first, I know with me, I always felt like if I was talking too much, I was disrupting their service. And I wanted to be the therapist that never talked. I just knew instinctually what they wanted, right? But there was time and time again where they'd be like, this was such a beautiful massage, but I kind of wanted a little more pressure in this one spot. And now it was my bad because by me saying, oh, I don't want to interrupt them, they're so relaxed. I should have always said, is this good? Are you comfortable here? Is this maybe the draping not to your liking? Like, are you tensed up? Because why? Right? So again, it all comes down to clear communication.
So speaking of clear communication, when you talk to your clients and they say, "Oh yes, I have a shoulder issue," because me, I had a problem with this as well. I would always say, "Well, other muscles that are affecting your shoulder, let me work on your arms as well, and, and the lats and what all the other erector spinae group." And they're like, "No, I would like you to focus here." They would always give me a bad remark. But now I understand it, because if I get a massage and I tell somebody, "Yeah, I want just right here," I want you to work on that thing for like 20 minutes, and then I'm like, "Okay, let's move on." But I was the type that just worked on the whole body. I only addressed that area for like 2 minutes.
Oh,
Because I know other muscles were affecting that, but
yeah,
I just give them what they
very clear. If what I actually do, because a lot of times people don't know where they're actually hurting. So I run through a simple little movement test. Even people just putting their arms up over their head. If one is like way forward and one is way down, I'm going to be like, I'm probably going to have to work on that one that's like frozen right there, right? So if they're saying now they're having issues with their hip, I'm probably going to be like, okay, there's a tightness here, probably all back along, right? So just now even before they get on the table, I'm doing little movement assessments. So now I can see, okay, this is actually what is really affecting you. Now break it down from there. To work on this area, I have to work 360 around it. And I need to have proper time of loosening up, talking to the tissue, talking to the joints. This alone was going to take me probably about 40 minutes. Now, on an hour session, they're not going to get full body. So I have to let them know up front, okay, are you in here for relaxation, or are you in here for specific therapeutic work? And I make that clear first and foremost. And if they're like, I don't know, it's like, okay, well then it's going to be where I'm communicating and I'm moving your body and I'm assessing you and I'm really trying to work out areas that are frozen and tense, right? Versus me just sitting there and lulling you with a rhythm into a state of and working it that way, right? So the more specific I am, and by me just even watching how they're moving and how they're standing and seeing internal or external rotation, and that comes with time. But that's what I say is like, you really, when you're rushed at a franchise, you're not really able to see, you're pretty much getting them in there saying, okay, get undressed and I'll be back in 2 minutes. And then you've got to get out because now I got someone else waiting, right? So I've noticed on my own time now, especially with, some of the training I've had that's more in depth when it comes to like a body assessment, structural integration. It's you listen to the body, and the body will tell you what it needs, and then you can tell the client, hey, I'm probably going to have to spend a little extra time here to really give you the results you need. I can still do compressions up and down your legs. I can still hit all the major limbs. I'm just not going to be giving you that full body experience today. But you will be walking out of here getting exactly what you need, right? And you're going to do it in such a way where they're literally feeling like, oh my God, you just unlocked my shoulder. They're going to appreciate that more and take that into the next week, into the next weeks, rather than just having a nice little Swedish up and down, So it's like, what are you actually in here for? A lot of times people don't know. They're just like, oh, I kind of have this recurring, people are really not in their bodies, and as therapists we're here to like kind of guide them back. Oh, it's probably right here that's actually hurting. Oh, and it's connected to here. Oh, it goes up. Do you see when you move this way how it pulls? So maybe you need to strengthen that muscle as well, right? We're here to guide them and to teach them. That's what I'm saying, that starting out at franchises for $12, $15 an hour,
it's insane. It's
we're worth
insane.
So much more than that.
Yes, we are. Well, when you work on your clients, if there's a special move that they always want you to do, or go deeper to the point of like, ma'am, if I go any deeper, or sir, I can actually break a rib and cause internal bleeding. Why do you want me to do this? Do you have those type of clients who want, like, I don't know, to get on the table, knee in their back, knee in their eyeball, or whatever?
Yeah, and I tell them, there's the idea that the pain is going to somehow release the pain. What is that? Where's that concept coming from? Because I never jam, I never poke, I never any of that. You know, like I said, I dance with the body. It's like you talk to the tissue, you know, and like I said before, it's like the greatest power. It's the gentlest of touch. When you're really feeling for that specific area, it's listening, and it's not jamming in there. And again, when done right, like my clients can still be like half asleep, and I'm literally doing such deep, intense work, but they don't feel it because I'm moving the body like it's supposed to. I'm not jabbing something into it. I'm not ramming something down onto it. I'm not going to hurt you to try to ease the pain. No, no, no. I'm going to, like, you know, love it back into, you know, just, you know, release that tension. That's what it is a lot of times too. It's an energetic, and I love that I can see the energetic body. You know, people walk up to me and I'll be like, oh, that hip, L4. You know, and it's like I can literally see like the chakras, and you know, it's incredible, and I'm blessed to be in this profession because it's incredible.
That was thanks. Oh, to get off topic of franchises, we went to a Medi-Spa recently. A Medi-Spa in which you used to work in, I used to work
Yes.
in. And can you explain the glory or fabulousness, the sauciness, all those words? How did this spa
When
change
you
your
walk
life?
into a room and you're like, and you literally exhale, like every room did that for me. The salt blocks everywhere, like literally it was, the walls are made of salt blocks, just beautiful pinks and oranges, just stacked right into the walls. It was incredible. And the attention to detail, the fixtures, the lighting, the little everything was just, it was luxury, and it made you feel like you were in a place where you're like, yeah, this is a place that just feels luxurious. I just feel rich when I'm here. Like, oh my God, the equipment, the tables, the different machines. I mean, it's a Medi-Spa to beat all Medi-Spas. It was phenomenal. I mean, it's the love that they have poured into the decorating alone. I would love to work there. It's so far away though.
I know.
Oh.
No.
Why do you have to be like that far away? Because I would get that place like.
And you would get so many clientele coming back and repeat clients.
I would, because I want to work
Jesus.
there. I want to be in that environment. Every room you walk through, and this the aromatherapy and the lighting.
Yes. It was perfect. It was very nice. And you guys are going to see a video of it coming up soon, but this is me or Autumn and Ben time.
Yeah.
So we just had to explain to you guys what was going on, and following up with the spa and the ambiance and how gorgeous it was. How much do you think that Medi-Spa actually cost to even renovate or open up, or current cost? Reoccurring?
Well, when I saw $180,000 in just 2 rooms alone, I was like, okay, okay. It had to have been at least 1.5, 2 million. I mean, the wallpaper from Italy, the Italian everything. It's like they went to Italy and just picked up a place, just brought it right back. Like, it's that authentic. Like the shower heads, it was, everything was just, they didn't spare any expense. And it's literally to put you in that state of opulence. Because like when you're in that state, it's like, yeah, I'll spend a little extra. It's worth it. I'm worth it right now. This $45 cream, yeah, no problem. When usually you would complain at the store, $6, and now you're like 45, no problem. Okay, 2.
Exactly.
You know, it's like that's how the place had me feeling. I was like, I'm gonna get one of those, and I'm gonna get this laser treatment. Get a little work done down here, everywhere, and now I'll get
And
Yeah, it was nice. It was, oh God, I was like fangirling the whole time. I was like, oh my God.
Mhm.
Every room you walked into, like the flotation pool.
Mhm. I know. It was amazing. And you guys are gonna see a
The
video of
wet
it. Trust me.
steam.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and the dry
Yes.
steam.
Oh my God.
Oh, oh. Okay, let me
It
stop.
it opened up my
Ah, I want the
wellness like no
place. I
other.
would love to do scrubs there again. I love doing the body scrubs. I love doing the body wraps. And those beds that literally sink down into the heated water.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have them here.
They don't. No.
They're German.
German
They're
engineer.
they're flown over.
Mm-hmm. Right. So he probably spent the money just to fly them over, because those are
Those things are
Ooh,
incredible.
they're heavy as
Oh
crap.
my God.
The extra box that you have to put.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that fast filling tub.
The plumbing for that.
Ooh.
Yeah, they have the really.
What is their water bill, you
I
think?
don't.
Good God.
It's got to be well up there because they got that back
God.
part running in the little
And
square.
then when they're doing the heated room for Bikram,
Yeah, it was all.
the steam and the heat.
I don't
Oh
know.
my God.
I-
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
that's
God.
that's building heat. Like you're running
I
off
want
of.
to take that place and just own it.
Mm,
No, I want my own place.
yeah,
I am
Yeah.
coming into my own place.
that's right.
Whee!
So Autumn, I really, 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 really super appreciate
Yes.
your help, and maybe we can actually go back to that spa and show them how those treatments actually work. And actually, before we get off, in closing, you worked those nice sauna rooms and everything they're going to see in the video.
Yes.
Did you have any craziness go on at that particular type of spa, just because it's not a franchise, like, or did you notice a higher class of
Higher
clients?
class of clients.
Hmm.
Interesting, right? Yes, but again, there is a difference between American massage and European influenced spas, massages.
Mhm.
Again, it's free. I remember my first massage was actually in Japan, and they literally like butt naked,
Yeah.
and they were walking all over me and pounding my butt cheeks, and I'm all like, whoa! But I was okay with it because it was amazing.
Yes, it
And then I had
was.
another massage. I was in Turkey, same thing, completely naked, and again, you're there and you're not thinking, oh, this is sexual. It's literally like, okay, they know what they're doing,
Mhm.
and they're doing it well.
Yeah. And those type
But
of
no,
places.
I never had any sort, none. And I actually like really scrubbed naked people.
Yeah.
Really, that's
Yes,
what
you
we do
do.
there.
That's
You
right.
literally do.
That's correct.
And it's like, you know, again, I think it's just, again, it's the intention, it's the environment, it's a very strict place,
Mhm.
right? You get that feel, like you go in there and it's like, these are the services. It's going to be an amazing service. You're going to have an amazing atmosphere, an ambiance, right? The environment itself is just,
Yeah.
I want to work there again.
Damn right. And
And
even
I want my
if
own place that I can work in, it, just like that, with my own little flotation tub, my little.
Mhm. And even if we wanted, or if I, as a guy, wanted to go in there and actually act a fool, yes, going into those doors makes you want to just like, oh, okay, let me rethink this. Because there's security cameras everywhere.
Yeah, I think all the rooms had,
had a Mhm.
all the laser treatment rooms, you know. I mean,
Well,
not the
not
ones
the-
where they had
right.
like, yeah,
Mhm. Like
they give you your
like being
privacy.
naked, right.
Right, but yeah, it's a very, you know,
Mhm, mhm. Well, at least
again, you set the stage.
They
You have to
did.
play a part,
They
you
did.
know. You
Mhm.
can't really deviate from that. You'll get kicked out.
Exactly. Because they at least have the cameras going to the treatment room, but in the room, yeah, you're on your own. But I like that because to me, it says, you know what? I got to be on my best behavior, just like Autumn just said.
Mhm.
I'm not going to try nothing. I don't care how fine my therapist is. It's like, it's order. And I like that better because it keeps everybody honest. Now, if
Yeah.
you go in there and you act a fool, you got to be really stupid. Like, you got to, like,
Yeah,
what the hell?
it's like
You
sexual
are crazy,
assault.
right?
You really are walking it. Now, that's the thing too
Right.
that therapists need to understand.
Mhm.
You walk the line if you're not, again, clear on communication. So important. What is okay? What is allowed? What are your yeses and nos? What are your yeses and nos? Right? Come to that common ground. That way you have a safe place. You know, so when you set the stage and like this med spa, it's, you just know when you walk in there, it's,
Mhm.
this is geared towards your wellness, your health, your well-being. It's nothing shady. No?
No, because there's plenty of back alleys, and trust me, I know some places. I'm not immune. I'm not saying I'm.
You can almost see them from
Above.
the outside.
Yes, you see the neon light
Ah!
open 24 hour, whatever. So it's like, yeah, but they're in their own little district, which I do respect, because
Yeah.
it's like you got to go searching for those places.
Yeah,
Like, you know, a downtown part of the district or area is dangerous and full of craziness. So it's like
Did
you.
Montreal actually have
Uh-oh.
places